One click is all it takes to lose everything.
We are in a cyber war. You can either be a defendant or you could be a victim.
The media often focuses on big breaches that impact a large organization. They don't necessarily focus on what's causing the most cumulative monetary loss to businesses around the world. And what I'm referring to is what you hear in the news is when 100, 200, 300 million records are compromised because a server was visible from the internet, missing a patch containing critical data. Now, don't get me wrong. That is an exposure that you must fix. You must make sure that any system visible from the internet is always patched, and any system that's visible from the internet never, ever contains critical data or critical information. That has to be addressed. However, the bigger threat to most organizations, the entry point for most attackers, is not compromising or breaking into a server. It's targeting one of your employees. It's the insider threat. Now, I know as business owners, when you hear insider threat, you think deliberate, malicious insiders. You think somebody that wants to hurt you, wants to do damage to your organization, a disgruntled, angry employee. And what you think is, oh, all my employees love me. None of my employees would deliberately cause harm. I don't have to worry about that. Now, that's probably not true, but I don't want to argue that. I'm going to give you that. If you want to believe that every employee loves you and cares about you, I'll let you live with that fantasy. But what I'm talking about is the accidental insider. A good employee that wants to be successful, that wants to help your organization, that's tricked or manipulated into doing something they normally wouldn't do if they knew the true intent of your actions. We recently had a company, dedicated salesperson. The salesperson had equity in the business. They were one of the founders. They lived at the company. They worked 7 days a week. They would do anything for this company. And they received an email that looked like it came from a new customer. I saw it. It was good. It was legit. It had everything you would expect. And it said, attached is a quote for a proposal we would like you to bid on. Salesperson so excited, so eager, without even thinking about it, opens the attachment, and boom, one click is all it takes, and 70% of their intellectual property was stolen and compromised by an adversary. So what we have to recognize is the real threat to our business is not attackers. Yes, attackers are the source of most threats, but the cause of damage in most situations is an accidental insider that's tricked or manipulated to doing something they normally wouldn't do, which means you have to do two things. One, user awareness is critical. Do your users really recognize they will be a target? I will tell you, when I initially go into organizations and I talk to their users, most of them are, Eric, no one's going to come after me. I'm just an assistant, or I'm just an engineer. No one's going to target me, and they let their guard down. When I get done, they realize they're a target. Before I come in, they think, oh, email is trusted. As long as there's no spelling or grammatical errors, the email must be good and legitimate. When I leave, they know any email, no matter how legitimate, if there's a link and an attachment, is dangerous and they should avoid it at all costs. You absolutely need to make your users aware, because most of them don't. Most of them have no clue of the real dangers that are out there. Second, you as a business owner needs to ask your IT and security, what additional security measures are available? What additional security controls are out there to block or filter email? I know many of our clients, when we work with them, their email servers, their security devices, things like firewalls, have the capability to scan and filter and block attachments and links, yet they're not turned on and the executives have no clue. And I'll tell you, the most frustrating thing to me is when you have a company that bought the technology, has the capability to protect and secure the organization, but they don't. And after a major breach, when I go to the executive and say, this could have been fixed with a 2-minute switch with no additional cost, they go, why wasn't it done? Why wasn't it put in place? So be a well-informed executive, ask better questions and ask your IT and security team a simple question. What additional security measures can we implement? Because guess what? The real threat to your organization is not the Russians or the Chinese or the North Koreans, it's your employees. It's the accidental insider, and the more you can understand and recognize that, the better protected you can be in cyberspace.